What's up guys, this is Sukesh and you are watching the first episode of the awesome tips and tricks video series on the all new Samsung Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. Well, this year Samsung flagships are better than ever. I made my first tips and tricks video on the Samsung Galaxy S3 and since then Samsung devices evolved, matured a lot, and this year's Samsung S series devices does not include any gimmicky software features. You rather have some useful, innovative, out of the box features which are well thought, and one of the reasons I like Samsung devices is the intuitive, user-friendly interface, which is actually one of the biggest factors to consider along with your cameras and processors when you buy a smartphone. In fact, these smart features makes a true smartphone, I believe. So without any further ado, let's get started. In this first episode, I will mainly concentrate on the lock screen. As you know, there is face unlock on your Samsung device which scans and registers your face as an unlocking method, and there is also iris scanner which scans your iris. This iris scanner is faster and also much more secured than the face unlock, since with an image or a video the face unlock feature can be deceived. There is an option to prevent that which I will talk about in a minute. Iris scanner or face unlock can work when you turn on the screen. You won't have to swipe on the screen anymore, but instead of pressing the power key, you can actually hard press at the bottom middle part of the screen where the home button is. It's a pressure sensitive key and it works when the screen is on or off. No need to look for the power key, just click on the screen. It's more intuitive and easy to press, especially on the smaller S9 where the screen is smaller. I will talk more about this, but before that let me quickly talk about Intelligent Scan, which is basically a combination of face unlock and iris scanner for faster and more efficient unlocking. So no need to perfectly align the phone to your face, it will scan either your iris or the face. To enable, go to your lock screen and security settings, Intelligent Scan. Before you set this up, you have to of course register your face and iris. This is the option you need to enable, and as you can see there is an option called Screen On Intelligent Scan. That is, Intelligent Scan will work once you turn on the screen. No need to swipe to trigger face or iris scanner. You will find the same option under face recognition and iris scanner of course. Now at the start of this video I have talked about a way to prevent false recognition of your face. So to do that, just disable faster recognition. It will enhance the security by decreasing the possibility of a video or an image being incorrectly recognized as your face. But this makes the face recognition process slightly slower. It will take around a second or two, which might be bothering for some people. That's why Samsung has put this faster recognition option, considering your friends or family won't try to evade your privacy. If you're really concerned about your secrecy, better use the iris scanner or the fingerprint scanner. Face unlock is slower and kind of irritating unless you enable faster recognition. Let me show you how fast it is with this option on. Now it's take a fraction of a second. Now under lock screen and security settings, you will find always on display. Of course, it's a well-known feature, but there are few things and few tricks I'm gonna show you which you might not be aware of. Of course, you can customize your always on display with images, emoticons you can download from the Galaxy theme store. I will show you that later, but first of all, let's talk about how you can put reminders on always on display. While sharing an image, you will find an option for always on display. So if you click it, this image will be pinned to the always on display for 30 minutes. You can minimize the image with a double tap. Let me show you how does this work. Let's first pin this image. This is how it looks when the screen is off. So it's kind of an image reminder, and you can double tap to minimize. You can also double tap this icon again to check the image. So it looks quite cool, and in dark place the image looks actually quite nice, and you can delete this just like so. There are a lot of other things you can put on always on display. First of all, there is a reminder application on your S9 or S9 Plus. If you don't find this application pre-installed, I will show you how to find and pin this very useful application to your home screen. Now here on the reminder application, you will find an option to pin to always on display. It's a direct option without any sharing involved. Once again, it will be shown on always on display for 30 minutes. After that, it will be minimized and you can double tap on the pin to see it again. It's just like your notifications and all these things you are doing without even unlocking or turning on the screen. Let me show you the easiest way to pin this reminder shortcut on your home screen. On your edge panels, you will find the reminder application preloaded. Once you open this, a pop-up will show up to pin this application to your home screen. So make sure you pin that. If it's not preloaded, you can actually find that in the edge panel settings. Now there is another indirect way to put text reminders on the always on display. Just open any note-taking application. These Samsung notes must be preloaded into your Galaxy S9 or S9 Plus. Just write down the note, save it, then click on share. There will be some options. Select text only, then you will find always on display. You can even share YouTube videos to check out later. There you have the option. So always on display is actually more useful than you think. Now if you put a new reminder, the old one will be replaced. I wish Samsung removed this restriction. I mean, you might need to put several reminders. I mean, always on display can show multiple notification reminders. So it would be really great if we can put several notes or images on the always on display. Since it's a Super AMOLED display, this feature it's a very small amount of battery, around 2 to 3% in a whole day I think. As I just mentioned, notifications also show up as pins or bubbles on always on display. Just double click and open the respective notifications in their respective applications. If your phone is not password protected, then this feature is more convenient to use. Now there is something called face widgets on the always on display. You need to enable face widgets from your lock screen settings. I have enabled all these three, so when the screen is off, if you double tap on the emoticons or the clock style, you can actually swipe to your music player and you can play the music right away from your always on display. You can skip to the next one. There is also your events of the day, your next alarm, and these face widgets are also available on the lock screen. There is an option to enable that. Go to your face widget settings and here at the bottom you have the option to enable this for the lock screen as well. But this time you need to swipe on the clock. Clicking at the edges does not work here. So switch in between your face widgets and it's a nice little trick I personally find very useful. Now here on the always on display, you can also show your emergency contact information in case the phone is lost. This might be useful if you are lucky, and you can change the clock style from here. As I mentioned before, you can download always on display themes from the Samsung theme store. Here you have the separate option for AOD, that is always on display. There are lots of options. Most of these are free. This is one of the perks of getting a Samsung device. There are so many free themes, wallpapers, icons, and this is another free AOD I really like. Well guys, I hope that you are liking my review style. I'm trying to go as easy as possible to explain all these features. This phone is so feature rich, brilliant. If you can apply just few of these features, then your user experience with this phone will be much more interesting. Now as you know, the home button on your Samsung flagship is pressure sensitive and it works even when there is no visible home button. You can actually hide your navigation bar just by double clicking on this icon at the corner. I will show you how to activate this feature in a minute. When the navigation bar is hidden, just swipe up to get back the navigation bar just for a second. This is how you can access the whole display without the navigation bar blocking some part of the screen. Now the thing is, even when the home button, that is the navigation bar, is not visible, you can hard press to go to the home screen. Now there is another suggestion for Samsung. It would be really nice if the back and the app switcher were pressure sensitive as well. There won't be any need of the navigation bar, it will be all clean. Now there is a very interesting trick I have for you guys. When you are holding the phone or your phone is just resting on the table, just swipe your hand over the phone, that is the proximity sensor, without even touching the device, and you can turn on the screen. Unfortunately, face unlock or the iris scanner does not work here, just the fingerprint scanner. I don't know why. It would have been really nice, but still it's a useful feature. You can check your notifications. If you allow your notifications to show on the lock screen, then just check your pending notifications on the go without picking up the phone from the stand or your table. If your hand is dirty or wet, or if you are wearing any gloves, this might be really useful. This is where you can turn on this feature. Now here on the settings it says put the phone on a stable surface, but it works even when you are holding the phone. Now since it's a big device, especially the S9 Plus, it's almost impossible to reach out at the top for the notification bar. So what you can do is you can swipe down the fingerprint scanner to pull down and check your notifications, swipe twice for the toggles, and swipe up the sensor to hide the notification center. Since this time, unlike Note 8, you have the sensor at the bottom of the dual cameras, it's much easier to access. There is no issues at all, so I suggest you to enable this feature. You will find it under Advanced Feature Settings. Next, go to your display settings, scroll down all the way to this option, that is block accidental touches. When your phone is in your pocket or handbag, there is a good chance of accidental touches, so with the help of the proximity sensor, all the accidental touches will be blocked. Now here is the option to enable the icon at the corner, with which you can toggle in between show and hide navigation bar. There are few more options you might be interested in. For example, this is the option to enable or disable hard press home button I have already talked about, and you can also fine tune the pressure sensitivity, so if you don't want to press harder, just make it lighter. Next we have unlock with home button. I have shown you that when the screen is off, you can hard press on the home button and turn on the screen. The phone scans your face or eyes and unlocks the phone. Then what's the use of this option, unlock with home button? Well, if there is no password protection on your phone, then hard pressing on the home button will bypass the lock screen and take you directly to your home screen. It's a well thought feature. I mean, I don't put passwords on my phone, but then I really hate to press the power key, then swipe on the screen to unlock the phone. I use the fingerprint scanner just for that. Now the phone can be unlocked with a single press without removing the lock screen. I can of course press the power key for the notifications on the lock screen. So power key for notifications and home key for the home screen. How cool is that? You must already know about Find My Mobile option. Just remember to set this up with your Samsung account. You can remotely control your device when it's lost, wipe clean your personal and sensitive data, and also you can locate your lost phone from your computer. Now guys, I want to show you some really nice handy tricks you might find really useful. You can press the power key and the volume up key simultaneously to invert the display, which is quite useful sometimes, especially if the background of the display is white. So if you are reading an ebook and the background is white, the text is in black, you can invert the screen, which is much easier to read, especially at night time, and this also saves considerable amount of battery since it's a Super AMOLED display. Now for this feature, go to your direct access option, enable negative color. You have other options like magnifier window, so with a press of the volume up and the power key, you can magnify a part of the display. you have a few more options to choose from. So enable direct access, then enable any of these options. Direct access is available under accessibility settings, as I have just shown you. There are so many features on the Samsung device. Just knowing them is not enough. You need to think of how you can apply this in your day-to-day life usage. I use negative color frequently in web pages and also when I'm texting, especially at night. Now here is another underrated feature. It's notification reminder. That is, you can put reminders for your notifications from specific applications you choose. You can set the reminder interval, so if you don't want to miss any of your business emails or any other important notifications, you can set notification reminder. Now there is an option for flash notifications, that is, you can use the camera flash or the screen to flash when a new notification is received. This feature is really useful when the phone is in silent mode. With the flashing camera light, you might even notice your phone from another room or from a distance. This might be really useful when your phone is in silent mode or it's flipped. So if you don't want to wake up your sleeping baby with sound or vibration, this might be really useful. You will hardly miss any notifications, unless of course you are asleep as well. Guys, it will take me hours to show you all the amazing features you have on this Samsung device. So let's wrap up this first episode. The second episode will be uploaded soon, and make sure you are subscribed. If you are into this S9 or S9 Plus, you need to know all these amazing features, how to apply them in your day-to-day life usage. So don't miss any of these episodes. The second episode will show up on the screen, or you will find the link in the description below. Samsung makes true smartphones. I am really glad that Samsung does not put just the stock Android UI for the sake of slight faster response. These devices are also blazing fast, you won't complain. That's all in this video. Thanks a lot guys. You are watching Gadgets Portal. This is Sukesh signing off. Have a nice day.